Alright, we're working on the little glass head Briggs here again. Over here where we had the needle valve, the needle valve was actually kind of close to the head here, so what I actually did was made another one here, and I put a little sort of like a plug on the end here to give us more threads. Although that one was still working, you could feel it was only going to be a matter of time before the 2 or 3 threads weren't going to be sufficient enough. So I figured before that happens, I'll make this so then when that goes in, it'll give us a little more room away from the engine there. And I also soldered the head on here. I had it glued on before, and the glue was holding, but I figured while I got the solder out, solder that on, I won't have to worry about it. So I didn't install that yet, but that should work pretty good. And what we're going to work on today is we're working on this timing here, and that's pretty tough for me to move with my hand, but I could do it, which is what we want. We want it tight. And I was going to make a little shifter, put a little shifting rod on the end here so we can adjust it. I had this, that's about 1 inch, I guess, 1 inch brass ball. Going to put it on the end of an aluminum rod, make a little shifter rod out of it. But besides being heavy, that's about 2.5 ounces, and it's not proportionate to the engine. You know, we try to make these engines look as good as possible. You know, not awkward. You know, with big appendages and stuff, or stuff that's twice the size it should be. So I just got this in the mail. It's a little, that's 3/4. It's funny, one's an inch and one's 3/4, but it almost looks like it's half the size, but it's not. And this weighs less than 1 ounce. Not that weight would be a problem for us. If it was, I'd use an aluminum ball, but it's just going to look a lot better. And I found this piece of aluminum, 1/4 inch aluminum stock in our scrap metal there. And what I'm going to do is, I already tried, I smashed down the end here to see how it would work, so I could thread it into this mechanism here. I tried it cold, and it worked good. You know, here's the end I did, just put it up on a vise and slammed it with a hammer and stuff. I wanted to see if it would crack or anything, but it was alright. And then this end I annealed, you know, which is just heating it up, and I don't know if it worked a little better or not, you know, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut, after I cut this off, I'm going to anneal it. That just softens up the metal a little bit and takes a little bit of stress off it so it won't crack. So let me cut this end off, and we'll go flatten the end, see what it looks like. Alright, got the torch turned on here, and here's a piece of metal here. What I'm going to do is just going to heat this up, and that's just going to relieve the stress in there. I don't know what it looks like on camera, but you can actually see it's getting a little reddish, and that's all I want to do. I'm not trying to soften it to a point where it's dripping, so alright. Let's see what that does. I got you guys up there in the tripod. This is why I like these big vices, because you can actually use it, the back end here, the solid part, as a, can you see me? Okay. You can actually use that as a vise. It's actually making a smoother hit there, or whatever you want to call it, smoother edge than it was if it was cold. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but what I'm aiming for is a flat edge on one side and sort of a curve going in there. I think I'm pretty much there right now. I don't want to make it too thin. Sort of bent up right there. Okay. All right, that's just about where I want it. All right. Now I'm going to file it and make it look a little better. But that's what I'm going for. Okay. All right. I cleaned that up and I'm happy with the way it is. I marked out where I'm going to drill the holes. And I'm going to drill them and then tap the holes into this piece here. This little handle is a lot longer than I want it. I left it like that so I can work with it. I'm only going to have about maybe a ½ inch of that shaft showing, and then the rest of it will be ball threaded for the ball. All right, let me drill this thing. All right, we drilled and tapped that and screwed it on there. It's holding on pretty good. Let's put it on here and see what it does. We want it right about there. Like I say, I only want about a ½ inch sticking out, and then the rest will be thread. So let me mark that. The Road King doing that left-handed. I like right there. And then we'll thread this part right here. Cut it off about here. Let's see what it looks like. Get this angle here. I think it'll look okay. If not, we'll just make another one, right? Right. Alright, I got to cut down the size now, and I got to mark where I want to stop the threads. So let me throw it in the vise over here and throw some threads on that baby. Alright, I got you started. Looks to be on pretty straight. It is only holding a knob on, so it's cutting pretty good. I'm not using any oil. Keep checking almost there. If it's a little too long, then I can always grind some off at the top here. Alright, I think about there. Maybe I should use a little oil. Not pretty, but I think it'll work. Yeah, went down a little too far, so I'm gonna grind the top of that off a little bit. Okay. Okay, I filed it down to where I like it. And clean it up a little. Never use air to blow chips and dust away. Remember that. Alright, they're not pretty. If I had to do it again, I would have used oil, but I got lazy. But they're good tight threads. That's good enough. Good enough for me. Alright, everything's nice and tight. Let me put it on a little machine there and see how it looks there. Alright, we got it all finished here. I'm liking the way it looks. Doesn't distract from it, and it's proportioned to the engine and stuff. And the colors ain't bad either. And it works pretty good. I'm doing something like left hand again. I think me and Mike were talking about maybe putting like a mark on the side You know, like top dead center, and then maybe 5, 10, both directions. We're still debating about that though. I put the points on here to see what they look like. We're deciding whether to use points or not, but I think we'll go with it. And they seem to be working, so I'm happy with it. Alright, this will probably be a short one, but at least we got a little bit done. Alright, see you in the next one.